fresh back from the Pro Football Hall
All right,
of Fame.
let's go. Lay it on us.
You want the jacket dinner first?
I do.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, I come in peace to these things always.
Like aliens when problems.
Not this year you were.
We come in peace.
Again, I've been doing the jacket dinner for a long time, and it's an awesome event. For those who may not know, the night before the induction ceremony where the speeches happen and busts are revealed, the inductees and the Pro Football Hall of Fame receive their jackets, the first tangible item that they receive to cement the fact that what they'd been dreaming of their entire lives was in fact happening. They were going to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. And it's really cool. You watch the jackets get slipped on them, and in the past it was the presenters for enshrinement in the ceremony the next day would be the ones to do it on the stage. And they added new components over the last few years as returning Hall of Famers are introduced first and sit in chairs that align the pathways each enshrinee takes to the stage. So one guy comes from the right, and then the next guy will come from the left, and each pathway is lined by Pro Football Hall of Famers wearing their jackets.
A real canyon of heroes.
It's really great. And last year, the Hall of Fame decided to give the enshrinee the option of choosing somebody different from their presenter the next day from the returning class of Hall of Famers to choose one of them to put the jacket on them. And it's awesome to watch that. Patrick Willis chose Mike Singletary, his former coach, right? Julius Peppers chose Mean Joe Green.
Whoa.
You wouldn't have seen that one coming, right?
What is their connection?
I don't know. He just maybe loved him. I don't know.
So cool.
It really is so cool. Yeah. Devin Hester was obvious who he would choose. He chose Dion, who we all know considers Devin Hester a son. Like, he took Devin into his family when he was back at the U. Like, he's known Devin Hester forever. And Devin broke Dion's record for most returns in the history of the game. On a Thursday night in Atlanta, Dion on the sideline, and it was one of the most amazing moments I've ever seen. Yet another example of Devin Hester taking one to the house when it was most anticipated for him to do it, and he actually gave the fans what they wanted, him doing it, which is why he's in the Hall of Fame. And so, jacket dinner, and I'm the host of it, and it's so much fun for me to enhance the moment from the podium to say, put your hands together, and it's just incredible. And so for the first several years I was doing this in Ohio, I would step to the podium and hear it from many Buckeye fans, and I didn't have an answer for them because Urban Meyer's Buckeyes were kicking Michigan's ass year in and year out. And then Ryan Day's team did it in 2019, and I think even at the 2019 one, or the next year, or whatever it was, I even said to the podium as they're heckling me, like, I don't have an answer. I'm retortless. I have no retort. You're right. And then the what's the words for it? Pendulum is swung. Last couple of years, I've heard from them and I've given it back because I can now. So I'll always have one in my back pocket if they engage me first. And now people expect it. Do you know how many people came up to me before the jacket ceremony to tell me, can't wait to hear what you've got to say to them?
I'm sure it was in the airport.
People are now coming up to me and saying, what are you going to say to them? And I'm like, well, are they going to engage me? And they look at me like, I think they're going to do that. I'm like, well, why would they do that? It's 3 in a row, and Michigan just won the national championship. Why would they do that? Sure enough, got up there. OH, cheater. I heard a lot of cheaters, all that stuff. It's coming from everywhere. So I'm like, I even said to him, like, why would you do that? It's just like an Ohio State fan to not be able to read a room, whether it's Columbus, Ann Arbor, or now this room. And at least, though, for you, Colts great. Dwight Freeney's here. So at least someone associated with a horseshoe can tell you what it's like to win a big game.
Wow.
And it got ugly fast. Oh, it got ugly real fast. To the point where I decided, I made a decision on the fly.
Omaha?
Not going any, I can't go any further.
Okay, you're done. Yeah, you gotta stop.
I'm not going to go any further.
You're the host.
Well, and Hutch wasn't there either to have your back.
Hutch was not there to have my back.
Yeah, you're the host.
Ty Law was there. Charles Woodson was not.
Oh,
Okay.
So,
So your numbers were a little
yeah.
Did Roger give you a look?
Oh, he knew it was coming too. Even he said, "What do you got planned?" Yeah. But my favorite ones aren't the ones as off the top. It's circling back. It's throwing one out there when you don't expect.
Just like a...
So there was an award given out during the ceremony to a gentleman named Fernando von Rossum, who is a legendary voice of American football in Mexico. And he was given this award for his contributions to the game and what he's doing internationally.
Okay.
And he spoke, and towards the end of his speech, he said, I'm going to deliver some remarks in Spanish. And he did that. And a light bulb went over my head.
Oh, geez.
Oh, boy.
And I turned to my right, where a member of the Pro Football Hall of Fame was sitting, and I said, do you mind if I go back one more time? And he goes, go ahead. So I stepped to the podium just after he delivered his remarks in Spanish, and I said, listen, my Spanish is a little rusty, but I'm here to translate for you what Fernando just said to the crowd here. So you have to forgive me.
This guy.
My Spanish is a little off maybe, but Fernando said, Michigan has beaten Ohio State 3 straight Novembers. No, that actually got laughs. I think they even appreciated me. It was 45 minutes removed from the open. Like this thing, like weird. Yeah. The circle back. They appreciated that. At least I'd like to think so.
Yeah. They were cursing you on the way home.
I was particularly proud of that one. They didn't expect that because I played it totally straight. Like I think some people really thought I was just going to translate from Spanish.
Going to be sincere.
And then, not so much. And then came the actual day, which was delayed by 2 hours. I mean, there was, the lightning and the thunder. It was a good old-fashioned Midwestern corker. Yeah. And I thought to myself, we're in some trouble. But just like the Midwest, I mean, hour and a half later,
blows through and you move on.
It blew through it. There was a little bit of rain, I think, in the middle of Randy Gradishar's speech, and he was second up or third up.
Yeah, I could see
Dwight started, right?
Freeney was first. Everyone was wondering if Jordan was going to come. He did, because they're tight. As a matter of fact, the door knock that Hall of Famers learn that they're in the Hall of Fame now through a door knock in their either home, or Patrick Willis was in his sister's home when the door knock happened for him. Freeney's door knock was at Jordan's golf club.
Yeah,
and Steve Weitz told that story on Friday's show, right? Mm-hmm. That Jordan said, "Don't wear a t-shirt and shorts. Like wear something proper because we're going to take photographs for my club afterwards." So
Mike was in on it.
Jordan was in on the on the ruse, and then they come off the golf course, and there's Tony Dungy standing there with a jacket. I mean, in his jacket.
Amazing.
It is great. Steve McMichael getting his bust delivered to him by his teammates is unbelievable. You could see in not just Hall of Fame teammates, you could see there's Ron Rivera in the photograph. My buddy Trace Armstrong was there as well. But you can see the jackets of Mike Singletary and Jimbo Covert and Richard Dent. Mm-hmm. And his jacket is on him. He suffers from ALS. You can see he's suffering. Or at this point in time, he's hopefully taking this all in. Yeah. And his wife, Misty, was there as well. They were all at the jacket dinner the night before. They all went to Chicago. Wow. They were all there Friday night. And by Saturday, they were there with his bust. They put his jacket on him. and they had the moment. And Richard Dent delivered it, and it was incredible. And I say kudos to the Hall for doing this. Hey, because you remember, when there are people who are not there, or thankfully in the case of Steve McMichael, he's alive still. We're just hoping he is taking this in. Guys who are passed away. There were some dicey moments with Junior Seau too, right? Yep. Of the Hall maybe not handling the situation.
Usually it's just a quick video and they kind of move on.
Yeah, like let's send the bust and the jacket with his wife and his Hall of Fame teammates, and his other teammates will be there, and we'll go to it live and we'll make it part of the ceremony.
Yeah, it was awesome. I mean, it's such a tragic.
Of course it is.
Thing, obviously, but that moment, and I was watching the interview with Ron Rivera, and Ron was like, you could look at his eyes, and he goes, you could tell he knew, and he was happy.
And Steve McMichael, Mongo's accomplishments were discussed at length.
Mongo was a beast.
By the way, he almost had 100 sacks as a defensive tackle in a 46 defense that wasn't built for him to have as many sacks.
Right.
And we also know his other many accomplishments in life.
I think he started
with wrestling, right?
185 games.
And his most incredible accomplishment may be telling Angel Hernandez how much he sucked behind home plate when he sang "Take Me Out to the Ball Game." and remember, Angel Hernandez turned around and stared at him, almost ejected him from Wrigley Field. Right? Come on now.
That's funny.
Let's talk about all his accomplishments.
And like you said, wrestling, he was a member of the Four Horsemen. I mean, it's hard to get better than that.
The other speeches were excellent. Devin Hester's speech was excellent. His bust is next level.
Yeah, it is.
Look at that with the dreads.
Wow.
That goes in with Troy Polamalu and Kevin Green. Right?
Green.
Some of the best hair in the history of the bust room,
Yep.
bust gallery.
Edge James had a really great one with the hair.
Yeah.
Yes.
Edge
yes.
has a good one.
Correct. Good one.
Is he wearing a goat chain?
Yes, he is. He wore a goat chain.
It's like Simone Biles,
He wore a goat chain. He thought he should have been a first ballot Hall of Famer. And, I think the only reason why he was not is people just, for some reason, don't give the specialists their due. And that'll be up next year when Vinatieri's first year eligible. Yep. I thought the speech Patrick Willis gave talking about growing up and in a spot where up the hill his grandparents were living, they were the ones with the running water. He didn't have running water where he lived, and he remembers as an 8-year-old carrying the buckets of water from his grandparents' spot down to his, and he thought to himself, as an 8-year-old, if I can make it without dropping these, I'm stronger for it.
Wow.
Yeah. Talk about that story. Andre Johnson going in as the first Texan. J.J. Watt was there. Dwight Freeney talking about Peyton Manning and Marvin Harrison. They were returning Hall of Fame. Hey, give it up. Peyton Manning, I think, has been back every year.
Seems like it.
By the way, he's the last quarterback to go in, too. Class of 2021. That's 3 straight classes without a quarterback. His brother.
About that.
So who's next? Eli's next year, right?
Next year.
Yeah.
And
he's not going to make it.
by the way,
Sorry.
He's making it. Just
he
not
should.
First
Not
ballot.
first ballot.
Okay.
That's what I meant.
But he's getting
well,
in.
that'll be the conversation
first
for
ballot.
future. I'll push back on that.
You don't think he
We'll
should
be-
get in?
That'll be for another time. Let's talk about
Yeah,
these
sorry.
guys now.
Yeah. That's my fault.
I mean, no, but he's next year. I'm the one who brought up next year.
Yeah.
So, but it's just another neat weekend.
It's one of
in
the best
Canton.
weekends in sports, man. Football fan or not.
And it's also the only Hall of Fame that is at the outset of the upcoming season.
Right.
All the other Halls of Fame are during, or baseball does
Kind
it
of in
in,
the
their
middle,
season. Basketball does it in their off
Basketball
season.
is, let's see, September, early September. It's kind of a little bit before.
Right, but this is now sports back,
Yeah.
honor the past while being excited for the present.
Yeah, Julius Peppers, he shouted out MJ also.
Only first ballot Hall of Famer of the class. He shouted out MJ too,
Yep.
who, by the way, stuck around for him too.
That's awesome.
And then he stuck for the parties. I saw
UNC.
him at Freeney's party too.
You saw MJ at Freeney's party?
I wasn't there at the parties. I got out of Dodge to do the thing that I can't say that I did yet.
Got it.
But there's that.
Yeah, it's great. Love the Hall of Fame.
So that's my Hall of Fame review. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.